Hi, and welcome to today's short video about what is a RAID log. And as a seasoned PM, you will, or an up-and-coming PM, you may have heard the phrase RAID many a time. So I will be covering in brief what is a RAID log, some of the components. I'll briefly cover how to create one and some ideas, but nothing too detailed. Really want to go into the benefits of using a RAID log and the best practice for RAID log as part of your project. So, basically, let me define what a RAID log is and the purpose within the project. So a RAID log is where you are logging information, and RAID stands for risks, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. And these are all part of your project where you collect that information, put it into a document which you keep a track of and monitor. And that's basically what that RAID log is, so that you can manage any risks, any assumptions that you've made during the project, issues, and dependencies. So just go into a bit more detail of the components. Like I said earlier, you've got risks. Now risks, so RAID stands for, let me just break that down again. So RAID stands for risks, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. Now, risks really are where you've identified risks that could impact your project success. These you document, you understand that, and I would always say you put some sort of detailed information around what the risk is, what how you're going to mitigate it, what the issues are, how you're going to resolve it. And risk, again, you can either accept, you can transfer, or you can mitigate. So it's either one. Next one is assumptions. These are documented underlying assumptions made during the project planning. So you don't know everything, and you don't know what the future holds, but there are certain things within your project that you have made assumptions, i.e., not just yourself, your project team, your engineers, because you don't have the information, etc. You need to document those assumptions. Then need to be followed up and understood. Next one is issues. Issues are where you log any problems or challenges encountered during the project execution. And what issues have you found out? You couldn't get kit, people aren't available, and your third-party suppliers let he's no longer, he's gone bust, whatever it may be. Those issues need to be put into that log. Next one is dependencies. Dependencies are really what does action A have and cannot be. Action A has to be done before action B can be done, or there's an activity that relates to that. So in simple terms, that's basically what it does. Tracking these dependencies between project task and external factors is really key. Now, sometimes it's very difficult to find that, but in reality, in simple terms, if you can't do an activity before something else needs to be done, that becomes a dependency. So, i.e., you can't drive the car without putting fuel in, for example, and that's a real simple one. But ultimately, the dependency is you put fuel in, or the other dependency could be that you actually know how to drive. So that's the other thing. Next bit really is part of the RAID is creating it. Now, every organization has their own method. They probably have an online RAID. They have, in some cases, they don't have a RAID. Now, there's loads of examples on the web which you can look at and get those. But again, basic terms, really, in the RAID log, you'll have your sections for risk, your assumptions, issues, dependencies at each tab or worksheet, shall I say. And then within each worksheet, I would say you put the item number, description of the risk, any mitigation strategies, date it was logged, things like that. Also a RAG status. RAG status is really important so that you're focusing on the more things that are more high risk. And then obviously open, close status, in progress, or whatever status you want that needs to be done. And I would make sure that you speak to either, if you have a PMO, which is a project management office, who will give you those templates. Not many organizations have that, but many do. And if they do, then they're the place, they're the people you want to talk to, because they'll give you the templates to make sure that you follow the standard and also benefit you within your project, so you are following governance, etc. So some of the benefits of using a RAID log, in my opinion, I think I've used the document multiple times with any type of methodology. So critical path, waterfall, agile, scrum, whatever it may be, I've kept a RAID log because it keeps me honest as a PM. The best, benefits are, it improves your risk management and mitigation, helps you manage that, helps you understand that. It enhances your decision making through clear visibility in projects, so it's really important. You then efficiently are tracking and resolving your dependencies. So if anything's going to block you, you kind of know, you can foresee things, you can try and prevent things as well. So it's going to help you be honest and understand, because you are not going to remember everything. And it also facilitates communication and collaboration amongst project stakeholders. And that's a key one, because there's multiple people in your team, they all have things to do, and this helps you kind of bring it all together. Some of the best practices for maintaining a RAID log, practically myself, I would review it daily, add things. Sometimes you have meetings with the team to do that. So regularly review and update the RAID log. Got to be done. Don't leave it till the last minute. Don't leave it till like 2-3 weeks when you've forgotten half the stuff. You do it regular. Eat, sleep, RAID, repeat. Do it all the time. Do it in the morning. Do it whenever, or do it at the end of the day. And brain dump all the stuff in there. You can always delete stuff, put it in there. Always assign responsibility for maintaining and updating on who's going to do all this. Can be a project. If you're a project manager, you, a project coordinator, if somebody's assisting you, or the PMO. It all depends, but somebody needs to take ownership of it. And make sure all your stakeholders have access to the log. Reference it, say all the information is there. There's a trackable record of what's going on. And then it helps foster a culture of proactive risk identification, issue reporting, where you're constantly reviewing, constantly understanding, and then people can steer you as a project manager in the right direction. So those are really, really key. So in summary, a RAID log, like I said, consists of risk, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. Make sure you know how to create one. There's loads of examples. Follow your companies there. And the benefits, in my opinion, outweigh the disadvantages of having it, the overhead. Really make sure that you are doing a regular update of your RAID log and keeping it up to date. Thank you for today, and I hope that was helpful.